What's happening, y'all? This is Mike D with Black Fathers Now, where we're bringing the village to the brothers. Every couple of weeks, you can look forward to a quick inspirational message or a thought-provoking guest with knowledge and wisdom, all geared towards helping you be the best father that you can be. We're bringing the village to you. Now it's your turn to do something with what you learned. All right, y'all. Let's go. What's going on, fellas? This is Mike D with Black Fathers Now. You know, fellas, something came to me in a way that it was never presented to me like this before, but it made so much sense, and I think it's something that I need to share. And this is a quick message, so you're not going to be here long today, all right? But I have to give a shout out to one of my frat brothers, Daniel Sears. I have a private Facebook group, and it's basically composed of dynamic black fathers, current and future. And basically, you know, we pose various questions and throw different scenarios and things that could lift the brothers up and educate the brothers and inspire them, because the whole goal is to basically help average dads become exceptional and help exceptional, you know, to become the average. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the whole goal of Dynamic Black Fathers, Current and Future, the Facebook group. But my frat brother chimed in on a post that was in there regarding consuming alcohol around your children. You know, why or why not? And just kind of posed the question to the brothers whether or not they consume alcohol around their kids, and if they do, you know, why, or if they don't, why not? And Daniel gave a perspective that was quite interesting that, I mean, it's simple when you think about it, but I never really put it into play. And he said that, you know, the main reason why he does not, you know, consume alcohol around his daughter is the fact that he always wants to be in a position to help should an emergency arise. And I was just like, wow. So usually when we think about the consumption of alcohol, we're thinking about it in terms of, you know, driving a car or, you know, operating a vehicle, you know, something like that, in which, you know, from a legal perspective, you know, you're in some type of danger, or you put someone else in danger. Or from the perspective of, you know, you don't necessarily want to, you know, sit around drinking and have your kids watching you do that, and that become the norm, or that becomes something that they think is okay. But the perspective that he brought to the table was, you know, I never want to be in a position that if something, my kid is needing me, or even my wife is needing me, and I can't perform. You know, I mean, because I think about this, I have a 4 and a 6-year-old, and, you know, there have been times where, you know, a fever pops in the middle of the night, or, you know, somebody gets sick and's throwing up, or whatever. I mean, there's been once we had to go to Children's Hospital because of, you know, an issue, or maybe there's an accident, whatever it is. If you are not in the position to then get in the car and take them somewhere, or to go pick something up, or to have your right mind where you can completely function, you know, with your children, or even with your spouse, you know, it made me think about it totally different. Now, full disclosure, you know, I made a commitment years ago to never become drunk again. Like, I never wanted to ever become drunk again. And so I have limits in regards to, you know, my consumption of alcohol, because at the end of the day, you know, I just don't like the way it makes me feel if I consume at a certain level. But I will have, full disclosure again, you know, I will at times have a glass of wine with dinner, or, you know, have a beverage, you know, when I'm going out with, you know, my wife or something. But it's not a scenario, but there are limits involved, right? But Daniel's post made me think about it in a different light. It falls in line with what I'm talking about. It's like, I never want to be out of control. I never want to, you know, do anything, whether it be alcohol or any other substance that's going to take me out of my mind and make me, you know, do things that I otherwise would not do, or put me in a place that I cannot function and experience life the way that I wanted to experience it. I never wanted to be in that place. So that was the commitment that I made to myself. But thinking about it just from the perspective of responsibility, it's like, I don't have any time off. I mean, if I really think about it, I am responsible for somebody at any given moment. Even if my wife and I are taking a couple's trip somewhere else and our kids are staying with our parents or whatever, at the end of the day, I might have to think on my feet to make something happen for them in another place. Or if for my wife and I am responsible for protecting and securing, things for her, and we could be off somewhere. So who am I to be, allow myself to get to a place in which I could not function properly? It's interesting. So long story short, fellas, today's quick message is just really to think about our consumption of alcohol, or if you consume other substances, that too. But to really think about it, but not from the perspective of how we always think about it in regards to operating a vehicle, driving, or not even necessarily your health. I'm not even thinking about it from that perspective, because that's a different, totally different conversation. But think about it from the perspective of your responsibility, in a sense that you can't afford to get ready. As a black father, you can't afford to get ready. You have to stay ready. And overconsumption, or becoming inebriated, or consuming something to a certain level in which you are not ready, in which you cannot function, puts a lot of other people in jeopardy, and not simply when you're operating a vehicle. All right, fellas. Hey, something to think about. And once again, shout out to my frat brother, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Daniel Sears, for this comment, because this really made me think a little differently about this subject. So I appreciate that. And that's the whole concept, man. Brothers lifting each other up and sharing information, sharing perspectives, because that causes people to think in a different manner. And then ultimately we can all grow from it. All right. Well, y'all, this episode has been brought to you by BlackFamilyApparel.com. Visit BlackFamilyApparel.com and grab some really, really dope apparel that celebrates the nuances of the Black family. As always, visit www.blackfathersnow.com. But also, if you don't visit the website, you can listen to this podcast via iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Pretty much anywhere that you listen to podcasts, you can hear it. So definitely subscribe, leave comments, leave ratings, and share this with the various fellas out there who could benefit from the info. Until next time, y'all be blessed, well, and wise. And I'll holler at you. Peace.
Yo, fellas, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And always visit blackfathersnow.com, as well as follow Black Fathers Now on virtually every social media platform you can think of. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Just follow us and engage with us, man. Look forward to hearing from you. And I guess until next time, I'll holler at you. Peace.